In Step 5 of Exercise Number 3, the following actions have to be implemented to define the rough machining of the whole recess. Add a new iMachining operation. In the InventorCAM Manager, right-click Operations, Add Milling Operation, and select 2D iMachining. The iMachining operation dialog box is displayed, and the default iRough is used for technology. On the Geometry page, click the New button to define the machining geometry for the cylindrical hole. For this operation, the geometry is defined as a closed pocket with entry chain. The first chain to select is the pocket contour. In the graphics window, pick on the top edge of the pocket contour as shown. Click the Yes button to accept the selection. The chain icon is displayed in the list. The second chain to select is the internal chain, which is marked as open. This open internal chain is considered as a pre-cut area that has already been machined prior to this CAM project. In the graphics window, pick on the top edge of the entry geometry as shown. Click Yes to confirm the chain selection. Chain 2 appears in the list. In the chain list, right-click the entry chain, Chain 2, and choose Mark Chain as Open. This will enable the tool to plunge inside this open area and start machining from this chain. The geometry is defined. Click Finish to confirm the geometry selection and exit the Geometry Edit dialog box. Next, switch to the Tool page. Click the Select button to display the Part Tool table. Select the already created 12 mm diameter end mill with a cutting length of 24 mm. Then, click the Select button to choose the tool for the operation and exit the Part Tool table. Switch to the Levels page to define the milling levels for the operation. Click the Upper Level button to define the upper machining level. Select the top face of the target model in the graphics window as shown. Click OK to confirm the selection. Next, click the Pocket Depth button to define the machining depth. In the graphics window, select the bottom face of the whole recess as shown. Click OK to confirm the selection. Switch to the Technology Wizard page to see how the cutting conditions were automatically calculated based on the tool information and milling levels defined for the operation. Looking at the output grid in the step-down section, you can see that the wizard calculated one step down at 13 mm because the total depth is still less than the cutting length of the tool. Note the ACP value is now set to 1.7 and the field is painted yellow. To show where the 1.7 ACP comes from, I'm going to switch to a fully modeled end mill representing the current tool at a step down of 13 mm. By looking at a sectional view, you can see the number of contact points the tool has with the vertical wall it is producing. There is one contact point above the bottom of the end mill and 0.7 of the next. Moving back to the Technology Wizard page of the iMachining operation dialog box, the yellow color in the output grid is an indication that the current situation for stability is not so good, and there is a medium likelihood that vibrations will develop. Again, reducing the machining level can help avoid potential vibrations. For this particular iMachining operation, decrease the machining level slider to 3. On the Technology page, the step-down and cutting angles generated by the wizard are shown. By default, a 0.24 mm allowance will be left on the walls. On the link page, the helical entry settings do not apply to this particular geometry since it has an entry chain marked as open. iMachining will enter the cut with a plunge. At this point, the operation can be calculated and the iMachining toolpath can be viewed on the model. Name the operation iRough Hole Recess. Click the Save and Calculate button to add the iRough operation to the CAM tree and calculate the iMachining toolpath. Click the Simulate button to display the simulation control panel. Using the default HostCAD simulation mode, click the play button to show the wireframe toolpath on the model. The tool plunges inside the open area and performs the pocket roughing toolpath. Using the exit buttons, close the simulation control panel and the iMachining operation dialog box. At this stage, Step 5 is complete and the wizard automatically calculated the ACP value based on a 13mm total depth. If you have not followed along, apply and practice the procedures shown in this video to define the rough machining of the whole recess.